I bet you didn't know that Messi has more dribbles than any player in football history by a massive margin, a record no one else even comes close to. And here's the thing, he doesn't even try to show off. No step-overs, no rainbow flicks, no circus nonsense. Just touches, little shoulder drops, and somehow your favorite defender is on the floor. Everyone's always like, oh, it's his low center of gravity, or he's got a magical left foot. Cool, bro. That's like saying Einstein was good at math. There's way more going on. So today we're breaking down the 4 actual secrets behind Messi's dribbling. Let's kick it off with the first one. Number 1, body positioning and balance. So here's where things start to make sense. Messi's dribbling isn't just about what he does with the ball. It starts with how he moves without it. Watch him closely. He's always low to the ground. Knees bent, chest slightly forward, and arms out just enough to keep balance. It's like his whole body's built around staying controlled while moving fast. And that's the real trick. Control at speed. See, most players rely on upper body strength or big strides to power through defenders, but Messi doesn't need that. Nope. He stays compact, keeps everything tight, and that lets him change direction without needing to slow down. He's always in a position to adjust. One shift of his body weight and that defender's already off balance. And here's why he rarely gets knocked over. Even when he's surrounded or clipped, you'll see him just glide through or bounce off the challenge. That's balance. It's not just staying on your feet, but being so stable that contact doesn't affect your rhythm. A great example is that famous clip against Boateng in the Champions League. Messi barely moved. He just shifted his body slightly left, then cut right, and Boateng hit the ground like his controller disconnected. There wasn't even a flashy move, just pure control and balance. And that's exactly my point. And it's not about size either. Messi's not built like a tank. He's not tall, not bulky, but he's incredibly strong in the right way. It's all in the core and legs. That's what lets him stay grounded and react instantly when defenders commit. What also makes this scary is how small his movements are. He doesn't need to twist his whole body to turn. Sometimes it's just a shoulder drop or a quick tilt of the hips. Because he's always in this low, ready position, he can explode in any direction. Even in traffic, like when he's surrounded by 3 players in the box, he just shrinks his space even more and somehow finds a way through. And here's the thing people miss. Messi's not just avoiding tackles, he's managing space. By positioning his body a certain way, he cuts off angles, protects the ball, and forces defenders into bad decisions. Half the time, defenders look silly not because they're bad, but because Messi's already controlled the outcome before they make a move. That brings us to the next. Number 2, micro touches and ball control. Let's be honest, most people don't even notice this one unless they're really paying attention. But once you see it, you can't unsee it. Messi doesn't just dribble well, he dribbles differently. And it's all because of how often and how lightly he touches the ball. Some players take big touches to sprint onto. Others do fancy flicks or try to glide past with one quick move. But Messi, he's the complete opposite. Keeps the ball so close to his feet it's like it's tied to his laces, and not just close, it's constantly moving. What makes this ridiculous is how small his touches are. He's not kicking the ball out and chasing it. He's tapping it every half second, sometimes even quicker. It's like the ball's never still, but it's also never out of reach. That does a few crazy things. First, it gives him full control over every single moment. He doesn't have to react to the ball's position because he's actively deciding where it goes the entire time. Even if a defender lunges in, Messi doesn't have to make a big adjustment. He just changes the angle slightly and boom, he's gone. Second, it keeps defenders guessing constantly. With big touches, you kind of know when the player's going to try something. With Messi, the ball's always moving in short bursts, so there's no clear signal. Is he about to pass, shoot, cut inside, go wide? You can't tell. It's like he's planning 5 different moves at the same time, and defenders don't know which one they're in until it's too late. And third, it lets him operate in tiny spaces. In the final third, when there's barely any room, those micro touches are a cheat code. He doesn't need space to get going. Bro can stand still, take 4 or 5 tiny touches, and suddenly there's a gap that didn't exist 2 seconds ago. Think back to some of his classic goals like the Copa del Rey solo against Athletic Bilbao. What's even crazier is he wasn't looking at the ball. Most players need to glance down, especially when they're dribbling in traffic, but not Messi. He's heads up half the time. Because those tiny touches are so natural to him, they don't even require effort anymore. It's muscle memory at a freakish level. It's why he almost never overruns the ball, because he's not reacting to mistakes. He's constantly adjusting before mistakes happen. Now compare that to other elite dribblers. Someone like Neymar is flashy and creative, but you'll notice more separation between his touches. Mbappe relies more on explosive speed and space. This is what makes defending Messi so frustrating. You can't lunge in, he's already shifted the ball. You can't back off either because he's already on his way through. Every movement he makes with the ball is tiny but incredibly efficient. When you combine that with the body control we talked about earlier, Yeah, now he's a nightmare. But here's the wild part. All this stuff he's doing with the ball only works because of what's going on inside his head. Number 3, scanning and decision-making. Here's the part of Messi's dribbling that people seriously underrate. He's already reading the game in real time and faster than everyone else on the pitch. We're not just talking about awareness in the general good football IQ way. We're talking about constant scanning, instant processing, and making split-second decisions before anyone else even figures out what's happening. Before the pass even reaches him, he's already done a quick scan. Where are the defenders? Who's closing in? Where's the open space? That's not something he does every now and then. It's basically a habit at this point. You'll see it in almost every replay in slow motion. A quick glance to the right, another to the left, a subtle head movement just before the touch. All of that is him collecting information so that when the ball actually gets to him, he doesn't have to stop and think. He's already made a decision. This is why Messi dribbles so smoothly around pressure. You see a defender step in. He already saw it coming and adjusted half a second earlier. Now it looks like defenders are later frozen. They're not slow. They're just one step behind him mentally. And this also explains why Messi rarely runs into defenders. He knows where the pressure's coming from, and more importantly, he knows where it isn't. So even when he's surrounded, he finds that tiny pocket to escape through like it was part of the plan. Now add in the micro touches and you get a player who doesn't just control the ball, he controls the flow of the moment. Let's take that insane goal against Real Madrid in the 2011 Champions League. Messi picks up the ball in midfield, skips past Asana Diarra, glides through a couple other players, and by the time the defenders commit, he's already past them. And it's not just about avoiding pressure, it's about setting up what comes next. If he sees his defender lean slightly, Messi adjusts his touch to pull them further out. Why? So he can slip past on the other side, or open a passing lane, or even draw a foul. Talk about high-level manipulation. It's like he sees the pitch in 4K slow motion while everyone else is buffering. Combine that with the body control and constant touches, and suddenly it makes sense why it's so hard to stop him. You're not just dealing with a technical genius, you're dealing with someone who's outthinking you on the fly. And that brings us to the final layer of his dribbling magic. Number 4, timing, deception, and the pause. This is the moment when Messi's dribbling goes from impressive to how is this even legal? It's all about timing and deception, those sneaky little tricks that leave defenders looking like extras in a slow motion replay. You've probably seen it, Messi dribbling at a defender, slowing down, almost stopping, then bam, he explodes past them just before they know what hit him. That pause is not just for show, it's a calculated weapon. Why? Because timing is everything. If you go full speed all the time, defenders can predict your moves more easily. Messi plays with rhythm. He speeds up, slows down, and hesitates just long enough to mess with your head. That pause forces defenders to commit early or freeze, and either way, they lose. They might try to tackle, only for Messi to dart the other way, or they hold back and he walks right by. Plus, he's a master of deception with tiny body feints. Not huge step-overs or flashy tricks, just the subtlest shoulder drop or a quick glance that makes defenders think he's going one way, then he goes the other. It's like he's hacking the defender's brain with micro signals. And because he's already got those micro touches and perfect body balance, the switch in direction feels effortless. One moment he's almost standing still, the next he's flying past. Messi also uses his size to his advantage here. At 5'7" with a low center of gravity, he's like a kid who's impossible to pin down. Defenders try to muscle him off the ball, but he's just too slippery. He's got the weeble wobble thing going where he stays upright no matter what, and honestly, it's kind of unfair. Another thing about timing, Messi knows when to dribble and when not to. Sometimes the best move is to stop dribbling altogether, hold the ball, and wait for the right moment. That patience separates him from other dribblers who rush and lose the ball. His pause-and-go rhythm also tires defenders out mentally. You're chasing a guy who might sprint or might slow to a crawl. There's no pattern, and that unpredictability wears players down. Look at his goal against Bayern Munich in 2015. He's surrounded, slows right down, almost teasing the defenders, then hits top gear and leaves 3 players sliding in the dirt. It's poetry in motion. So to sum it up, Messi's dribbling isn't just about speed or fancy footwork. It's about a perfect storm of balance, micro-touches, brain power, and timing. He's always in control of his body, the ball, the defenders, and the entire moment. That's why even after more than 15 years at the top, no one has really cracked the code on stopping Messi's dribbling, and probably never will.